The brand many would argue was the face of Ireland, the most consumed product on St. Patrick's Day, and yet the company's history would suggest something different. Guinness was founded by Arthur Guinness in 1759, a devout Protestant who opposed Irish nationalism and independence. His first clear stance against Irish independence was in 1798, when he opposed the Irish rebellion of Presbyterian radicals who wished to overthrow British rule in Ireland. This opposition soon caused many to refer to Guinness as Black Protestant Porter. In that same year, Arthur Guinness was identified as a suspected British informer by the United Irishmen. In their newspaper, the Union Star, he was noted under a list of suspected informers, described as a brewer at Jamesgate, an active spy. United Irishmen will be cautious of dealing with any publican who sells us drink. 118 years later, their stance was no different. Prior to the Easter Rising of 1916, Irish volunteers working for Guinness were discouraged from parading. The company had also gained a reputation for dismissing staff suspected of involvement in the rebellion or sympathetic to those who took part. During this conflict, Guinness trucks were converted into improvised armoured fighting vehicles for the British Army to use against Republican forces. One particular Guinness truck was made by bolting 4 boilers onto the rear of a Guinness flatbed truck. It was believed to have been the first armoured vehicle used in Ireland. Now it's still unclear whether they were donated by Guinness or bought by the British Army. Donated or bought, regardless, it still signals where their loyalties lied. It doesn't just stop at the company. Arthur's descendant Lloyd Ivor was a major contributor of funding to the Ulster Unionist Council, who in turn funded the Ulster Volunteer Force Arms Fund of 1913. 1 year later, the UVF would receive 25,000 rifles and 2 million rounds of ammunition. The donation was estimated to be £100,000. In response to this donation, Irish nationalists organised a boycott of Guinness products. Michael Conway, later an IRA commandant in Limerick, remarked, "For a time, only Murphy's Stout was consumed locally, but after a while, the boycott eased." At the outbreak of the First World War, employees at the Guinness St James Gate Brewery were encouraged to join the British forces. Over 800 employees served in the Great War. All were paid full wages in addition to their military salary. As late as the 1980s, Guinness stated their allegiance to England and Britain. During the 1980s conflict in Northern Ireland, combined with the refusal of the Irish government to back the British during the Falklands War, Edward Guinness stated he was no longer sure the association with Ireland was helpful, even stating that the brewery may have to emphasise facts such as that Guinness was an English company. People often identify with brands even when those brands don't truly represent them, because branding taps into deeper psychological needs. In many cases, the appeal lies in the symbolic value a brand offers, a sense of lifestyle, community, or even personal transformation. We've seen it with the recent trend of splitting the G, where those who don't even like Guinness have taken part purely for personal image or social reasons. This disconnect between brand image and individual reality underscores the persuasive power of marketing and the human tendency to seek identity through external symbols, even when they conflict with personal truth.